Hello again. Back to the project that I began a couple of weeks ago of turning this sort of lower end musician's friend Rogue house brand mandolin into one of my first fretless neck experiments. I've got one fretless guitar, an oud, and several violins, several things that I've dabbled with in terms of my music work with fretless work, and I've got two or three lower end instruments that I'd like to turn into fretless instruments, and so this is one of them. And I'm not sure where we're going to go with it, but I got so far in the first episodes, as you saw, of pulling the frets out, and that went really well. Used just an end nipper, set of pliers, and then, at the suggestion of a good friend from the loopers community, Tim Nelson, suggested when we were talking about filler, because you need something to fill the gaps with where the frets were, so the neck becomes stable, and then the idea is that you sand it down. And he had suggested that one easy thing to do would be take old credit cards, which was a really neat way to recycle credit cards, and to cut them into strips because they just happened to fit, and indeed they did. And so I did that. I filled all the slots with those. Had some minimal fingerboard damage. I've got a little place there that'll need repaired. And I'm at the stage of trying to trim these things down, and I'm using this kind of device I found. It's a painter's tool there where it holds a razor blade in place. You got to be careful of that. And then you can kind of push down on the plastic. And so that's what I'm doing in this video. I am trimming it down, and in preps to sand it and to make it a smooth neck. So I just wanted to illustrate that a few times. I did a few, and this is a little ragged already, but it'll clean up in sanding. But the main thing is to get something stable in the slots. Some people use epoxy in a wood blend, and I may wind up doing that on another, but I'm trying Tim's idea on this, and so far it looks like it's a good approach. So you cut them off, and it leaves a little bit of extra, so you want to kind of zip it down, something like I'm doing with this tool, and you just go crowd it across the top, and there it goes. It's pretty clean. Now obviously that'll do a little bit of stuff on the neck, and hoping to sand it down, as I said, but it looks so far they're going pretty well. I'll do another one. Actually, this little tool does great because it just trims it right down to the edge, which is what you want. The couple I couldn't get the higher frets for whatever reason. It was just they were just too narrow, so I'm going to use the other ideas, use some epoxy or something to fill that out. But we'll trim a few more. So far, I have not spilled blood with this. Granted, it's going to do some damage to the top, but sanding should help on that. And but you just trim them down and get it, to the surface. I'm sure somebody's going to go aghast at this technique, but the idea is to have it playable, and it's a homemade project. We'll see where it goes. I'll do a few more here. There we go. These are zing on by. There, as you can see, these little puppies laying down. I've got about four more. Actually, two more, because I did the first two earlier. But you just kind of zip it off there, and as I said, we'll do the rest with sandpaper. I think I got one more here. I've been so lucky so far. Spilled blood. It always makes for an interesting video. But I think that'll do the trick. So again, these are now the color I don't know what color I'll wind up leaving them, but for now I've filled the cracks, and I can rough that out I can smooth that out rather with sandpaper, and I'll need to do a little filling there with something. I'll probably use a mixture of, what I've been finding is people use a mixture of epoxy and wood dust, or maybe some of the commercial wood filler. So anyhow, this is coming along. I'm Jim Gooden. I do a range of music and acoustic and looping and a few other odds and ends. Actually, I keep evolving, so I don't know if I will swear to any one camp. But you can check out my work here on YouTube on this channel. And my regular website is jimgooden.com. And this is a Fretless Mandolin project. And stay tuned next time. We'll see how it's coming out.